The First 90 Days, Proven Strategies for Getting Up to Speed Faster and Smarter, Updated and Expanded. This book explains how professionals, especially corporate managers, can quickly adapt to new decision-making roles within their first 90 days in a new management position. It offers valuable insights for all professionals, whether they're joining a new company or transitioning to a new role within their current organization. Although written over a decade ago, this book remains a bestseller with over 1 million copies sold worldwide. The author, Michael Watkins, is a globally renowned career transition expert who has served as a professor at prestigious institutions including IMD Business School in Switzerland, Harvard Business School, and Harvard Kennedy School of Government. His career transition guidance and management advancement programs are widely implemented across Fortune 500 companies. A joint study by Harvard Business Review and other institutions revealed that 580 business leaders averaged 18.2 years of career experience, with each leader experiencing approximately 13.5 role transitions, roughly one transition every year. This highlights how common career transitions are, whether changing companies, jobs, or positions, and their crucial impact on professional development. Watkins discovered that successful professionals face just as many challenges as those who fail. They simply have a clearer understanding of what's expected of them and possess better adaptation skills and flexibility. The book introduces a key concept called the break-even point, the moment when your contributions to the new organization equal what you've consumed from it. After this point, you begin adding net value. For any manager, the goal during each transition is to reach this break-even point quickly and then create value for the organization. Watkins surveyed over 200 CEOs and presidents, finding their average time to break even was 6.2 months. He suggests that following the methods outlined in his book can reduce this time by 40%. A leader's achievements in their first 90 days largely determine their career success. Take Sarah's case. After 8 years in marketing, she was promoted to head of product development. She maintained her authoritative management style, being overly detailed and controlling. Due to differences in professional background and inappropriate management approach, her subordinates began challenging her authority. Within 6 weeks, she had lost control and returned to her previous department. This example illustrates that when transitioning to a new role, especially after a promotion, you can't assume your previous working methods will remain effective. This represents a classic case of inadequate self-preparation. Proper self-preparation means understanding what type of role you're transitioning into and establishing a psychological boundary when your position changes. Consciously separate the past from the present by reflecting on the differences between your old and new roles. You can mark this transition by celebrating with your family and sharing your insights during the celebration. The next crucial step is to assess your blind spots. This involves understanding problem preferences, our tendency to focus on things that attract our attention while overlooking others. For example, you might be overly focused on costs and budgets while neglecting product quality, or too concerned with fairness while overlooking employee morale. These problem preferences can throw you off balance, and what you overlook often reveals your weaknesses. Identifying your problem preferences helps you discover and improve upon these weaknesses. After identifying your weaknesses, the third aspect of self-preparation is rebuilding your learning capacity. Watkins found that many leaders in transition often say, "I suddenly realized how much I don't know." This indicates that new positions require learning many new things. While this process can be frustrating, rebuilding your learning capacity gives you the confidence to face challenges and even failures, helping you quickly establish self-assurance. Additionally, during self-preparation, you need to build new advisory networks. This includes not only technical advisors but also, as you move up the ranks, political and cultural advisors who can help you analyze the political environment and cultural patterns of the new organization, understanding the shared language, behavioral norms, and values within. These are the elements of self-preparation. Once completed, the second principle is accelerated learning. Let's look at an example. A software development company hired Chris as the head of product testing. Chris thought the existing testing team was inadequate and their processes flawed, so he made changes, but things only got worse. When his boss finally confronted him, asking, "You say they're not good enough, but do you know how they've managed to keep going with such limited resources?" Chris was stunned, realizing the problem wasn't with the team, it was with him. He had failed to understand the team's background and context. Chris's case shows that without learning in your new position, you'll quickly run into trouble. In new roles, we often fall into the action imperative trap. Like Chris, we feel pressured to take immediate action to prove ourselves. However, this anxiety and rush can lead to poor choices and failure. Through learning, you develop actionable insight, a clear understanding of the new environment that helps you judge what to do and what not to do, leading to better decision-making and faster break-even points. What should you learn? In technical areas, understand unfamiliar markets, technical processes, and systems. In interpersonal relationships, get to know new bosses and colleagues. In cultural areas, learn about new organizational norms and behavioral expectations. Some information comes as hard data, available through reports, while soft data about organizational culture and political environment requires conversations with key information holders. Who holds key information? Watkins identifies several groups, starting with customers or suppliers who serve as outside observers. The management team knows you best, followed by frontline developers who are most familiar with the organization's basic processes. Third are the employees from functional departments like legal and HR, and finally, the veteran employees who know the company's legends and gossip and can explain the true nature of company culture and politics. There's an overwhelming amount of information to grasp in a new environment, so learning alone isn't enough. You need to accelerate. The way to accelerate is to adopt a structured learning process, using a consistent pattern to gather information. For example, when having one-on-one conversations with new colleagues, you can prepare the same set of questions, such as, what challenges is the organization facing? What are the opportunities? What conditions are needed for growth? This consistent questioning helps you easily identify which viewpoints are common, which are controversial, and reveals who's being evasive versus who's willing to take responsibility. After discussing the importance of accelerated learning, let's look at the third principle, adjusting strategy based on actual circumstances. Watkins believes leaders typically face 5 business situations, known as the STARS model: startup, turnaround, accelerated growth, realignment, and sustaining success. These 5 situations present very different challenges and opportunities. As a manager, you need to adopt targeted strategies. Let's break them down. 1. Startup. Everything starts from scratch: strategy, systems, personnel, technology, and funding. 2. Turnaround. The organization is in trouble, and you need to rescue it, boost morale, and develop solutions. 3. Accelerated growth. Focus on ensuring systems are in place, team structure is stable, and new members can integrate smoothly. 4. Realignment. Revitalizing previously successful organizations facing challenges, carefully restructuring the top team. 5. Sustaining success. Maintaining the organization's vitality and elevating it to the next level. In your new position, first determine which situation your organization is in, then position your decision-making accordingly. If your organization needs a turnaround, you'll need to be a superhero. If it's in realignment, you should act as a seasoned steward, deciding what to keep and what to discard. Accurate positioning makes it easier to achieve quick success. The fourth principle is achieving success through communication, specifically proactive dialogue with your new boss, as this determines when you'll reach your break-even point. Take Michael, who was hired as an executive at an oil company. He was told his boss was extremely strict and many couldn't handle him. Michael wasn't afraid and thought, if you're so demanding, let's talk and see exactly what you expect from me. Through interaction with his superior, he not only understood what was expected of him, but also helped his leader understand his own perspective. He successfully pushed forward with his plan, and their relationship remained harmonious. Michael's story teaches us who should take 100% responsibility when building a relationship with your boss. Clearly, it's you. You need to understand your boss's expectations early on and pursue early wins in areas your boss considers important, rather than waiting for them to offer support. Don't keep your distance from your boss or only approach them with problems. More importantly, don't expect your boss to change. Adapt yourself to their style. When communicating with a new boss, there's crucial information you need to understand. How does your boss define the organization's current state? What specific expectations do they have for you? What resources can they provide? What's their preferred working style? How do they evaluate your performance in the new environment? Not only do you need to know these things, but during your first 90 days, you should have progress reviews with your boss every 30 days to maintain consistent communication. The fourth principle is achieving success through communication. The previous principles were more preparatory, like self-preparation, accelerated learning, strategy adjustment, and proactive communication. The following principles move into more substantial actions that bring you closer to success. First, secure early wins. Watkins believes that achieving early successes in your new position energizes the team, builds credibility, and helps you reach the break-even point faster. Without early wins, a leader can't address more fundamental issues like strategy, structure, and systems. In a new position, you might fall into the low-hanging fruit trap. As a new leader wanting success and avoiding failure, you might focus on tasks that seem easy to accomplish. While you might succeed, these achievements often provide little real value for your personal and organizational long-term development. That's not a true early win. The best candidates for early wins are initiatives that require minimal resources but generate clear operational and financial benefits. For example, removing a bottleneck that limits team productivity could be an early win. Remember that success must align with organizational values. If your organization values teamwork, achievements through individual heroics won't be recognized as successful. Your energy is limited, so focus it on the few initiatives most likely to succeed. Pay attention to what your boss considers successful, but remember never to use underhanded methods. You'll lose credibility and can't maintain your position. The sixth principle is maintaining organizational alignment. Consider this case. In a company where multiple departments serve the same customers, conflicts arise over customer ownership. When different departments produce products for the same client, who owns that relationship? This leads to competition rather than cooperation, hampering revenue growth. The solution came when a new HR vice president restructured the organization, breaking down departmental barriers and consolidating R&D functions across departments. When customer-facing responsibilities were consolidated and organizational structure was streamlined, business performance improved dramatically. This alignment between organizational structure and company development needs proved highly effective. If we compare an organization to a ship, strategy is its navigation route, and organizational structure is like the ship's design. It must withstand various challenges along the journey. With an unsuitable design, the ship can't navigate its intended course. The organization systems are like the operating principles that keep the ship moving. Even with excellent construction, wrong principles will prevent the ship from sailing. The people in the organization are like sailors who must possess the necessary navigation skills. Without adequate skills, even the most advanced equipment won't prevent the ship from running aground. Therefore, strategy, structure, systems, and skills must all be present and aligned to reach the destination. The higher your position in an organization, the more responsibility you have as an organizational architect to ensure all internal elements work in harmony. The seventh principle, build your own team. Watkins believes that among the most crucial decisions a manager makes in their first 90 days are personnel decisions. As a new leader, success depends on building your team and leading exceptional talent. When taking over a new team, evaluate existing employees' capabilities, judgment, focus, and interpersonal skills. After the first 30 days, draw initial conclusions. Should they maintain their current position, be reassigned, or require further observation? Make adjustments based on these conclusions, but always maintain respect for employees to preserve your managerial reputation. After evaluation, maintain the new team's momentum. Watkins suggests using push-pull tools. Push involves using incentives to drive team motivation, while pull means inspiring passion through compelling visions. Combine these tools according to specific situations to maintain team momentum. While maintaining momentum, consider leadership approach, especially decision-making. Though there are various decision-making methods, remember one crucial point: maintain fairness. Even if employees disagree with your decisions, they'll support you if they feel their views and interests were properly considered. Achieving this largely completes your team building. Is team support alone enough in your new position? Certainly not. The eighth principle addresses this: building alliances. Success in a new role requires broad support. When entering a new environment, analyze how others might influence your development. Identify supporters, opponents, and potential allies. After categorizing those around you, understand who influences them and whom they can influence. You can map out an influence network and trace how influence spreads. Within this network, identify key figures whose influence significantly outweighs others. These are your opinion leaders. If you can convince these key figures to support you, it creates a chain reaction of influence. They, along with other supporters, become your allies, greatly increasing your chances of success. Now, we've covered 8 independent principles. The remaining 2 principles are comprehensive ones built upon these 8. Self-management and accelerating everyone's transition. Self-management means controlling your mindset, thoughts, and behaviors to make the right choices in new environments. Poor self-management can leave you feeling vulnerable, isolated, and struggling when facing challenges, causing you to derail. A crucial aspect of self-management is applying the 8 principles we discussed. When you succeed using these principles, you build confidence and create positive momentum for future growth. The 10th principle is accelerating everyone's transition. When new people join an organization, everyone who interacts with them undergoes a role transition. A mature organization should have a comprehensive system to accelerate these transitions, utilizing the previously mentioned principles to help everyone adapt quickly to their new roles. Let's review the 10 principles for managers to achieve quick success in new positions. 1. Prepare yourself. 2. Accelerate your learning. 3. Adjust strategy to the situation. 4. Succeed through communication. 5. Secure early wins. 6. Maintain internal alignment. 7. Build your team. 8. Create alliances. 9. Maintain self-management and balance. 10. Accelerate everyone's transition. Watkins believes that every successful career consists of a series of successful positions, and each successful position begins with a successful transition. Career transitions are crucial for every professional. While U.S. presidents have 100 days to prove themselves, you have 90 days to determine your success in a new position. Following these 10 principles helps you reach the break-even point faster and achieve success.